Nous sommes live avec l'artiste du mois Coldplay dans l'environnement Musique Plus. We've been waiting a long time to see you here. Thank you so much for coming and visiting us.
It's a pleasure.
Et tu parles français un peu?
Je parle français parfait. mais très lentement. Guy, il parle pas.
Du tout?
Non. Tu parles français?
Oui.
Oui.
Just enough to get around.
Exactly. Just enough to sell our records.
Which have been selling really well, we should say. Did the success of Parachutes faze you at all? Because it really took off from day one.
It did a bit, yeah. There was a period when we were... Excuse me.
We've got hot microphones.
When we were kind of slightly... We didn't know how to deal with, the success that we were apparently going through. So we had a period when we were touring America, and it was... we got very ill, and we got very mentally kind of messed up. But then we started enjoying ourselves again, and then it's kind of been upwards ever since then.
I'm assuming that the time away, if you will, during the recording process probably helped, to steer things back into gear and into focus.
Well, when we go to record, it's kind of we're in a bit of a bubble, where the outside world doesn't really, we don't really get too involved with it because we're just in a room, and completely cut off from everything else, really. So it didn't really prepare us.
On parle du fait que le succès de l'album Parachutes a pris un peu le groupe par surprise parce qu'au moment de sa sortie, c'est devenu hyper populaire un peu partout dans le monde. Et justement, on nous disait que ça nous a vraiment pris par surprise tout le succès qui a entouré la sortie de l'album et les tournées qui s'en sont suivies également. Et je leur demandais, mais est-ce que le fait de vous être retrouvés dans le studio a un peu calmé, si on veut, l'espèce de frénésie? Et on me disait, oui, on a pu vivre un peu dans notre bulle, mais ça a quand même pas aidé à la compréhension justement de tout ce qui entoure la popularité avec le groupe.
Oui, c'est vrai.
So that's right, you can test me on my translation. See, I can't invent stuff now.
I know.
Now I have to really be serious. Let's talk about the new album, A Rush of Blood to the Head, which will be released here on August 27th. So this is really a privilege for the fans to actually hear the songs before they're actually released.
I'm not sure. It's very nice of them to come, because it's very. No, you don't have to. Please. N'applause pas. No applause. Because it's only on Jerry Springer when they applaud. But it's nervous. It's like waiting for exam results or something. When we finished our record in May, and now we have 3 months of just waiting and seeing just how much people will like it or not like it, And so for us to go out and play is really cool because we can test the reaction, and if it's bad, then we can change. Well, it's too late now, but there was a time when we could have changed the record,
There's a lot of time on the album, a lot of references to time, either time and space, time and continuum, time and you and the universe and everything else. Where did the aspect of time come from?
Do you mean philosophically?
No. Yes, tell me about time.
Let's get deep.
Lyrically, obviously.
Well, our fifth member, the man you never see, our best friend is called Phil, and he's a very intelligent young man, and he kind of tells us some concepts to discuss in our songs. Otherwise, we'd always sing about girls and cars.
Yeah, I'm
sure. He says, why not try some heavy philosophy? And so we tried it, But I don't know, the time thing, there is a lot. I mean, for a start, the word time it's very nice to sing. Time, you can sing it in any way.
And clocks,
yeah. I don't know, it's a very weird question.
Thank you. On parle du nouvel album, entre autres, et de l'aspect du temps, parce que sur cet album-là, et même sur le précédent, Parachutes, il est souvent question de temps, soit le temps qui file, le temps qu'on manque, etc. Et je leur demandais d'où vient le concept du temps. Ils m'ont demandé de façon philosophique. Évidemment non, de façon sur l'album. Puis il nous disait que c'est le 5e membre non officiel du groupe, Phil, qui parle souvent du temps, etc. Et bref, on parle du temps un peu comme on parle de n'importe quoi finalement. C'était ce que Chris disait, c'est mieux de parler du temps que de parler des filles et aussi des voitures.
Et les pantalons noirs.
Et des pantalons noirs.
Et tous les vêtements. We love to chanter about les vêtements. Sorry, next question. Prochaine question.
You've been on the road a lot, and you've been mentioning Bono a lot in different interviews. How has interacting with these different bands been good for the whole sake of the band? Because you've met a lot of people who are famous, who have been through, if we will, the rock and roll mill. How did you get any feedback, any precious words from them, or?
It's always nice to know that people that we respect are into our music, which is one of the big things for us was when Ian McCulloch from the Echo and the Bunnymen was hanging around in the studio with us, and it's someone that we think is a really great musician and a great frontman and a great singer and songwriter, and he's not known for his favourable comments about other bands, so we were kind of surprised that he liked us, but it gave us a big kind of confidence boost, I think.
Mm-hmm. It is cool. It's like at school when someone from an older year group comes and is nice to you, it makes you feel like you're going to be okay,
Does peer pressure follow you everywhere? In the sense that, speaking about high school, it's like, life is high school, basically.
Yeah. No, but, I mean, we've hopefully got to the point now where we realise that everybody is essentially equal, from George Bush to the dustman out there, and that's a really cool thing to realise, when you realise you don't have to be scared of anybody and that nobody's more cool than you or anything like that, it's very freeing. But of course we love it when bands that we like give us their approval,
On parlait du fait que le groupe, depuis sa popularité, a eu l'occasion de rencontrer plusieurs artistes, dont U2, dont Ian McCulloch de Echo and the Bunnymen, qui a donné un coup de main justement avec l'élaboration de l'album. Je me demandais, est-ce que c'est le fun justement de se retrouver parmi ses pairs et d'avoir justement l'approbation, et effectivement, et même que c'est très bénéfique. Et comme Chris disait, souvent, lorsqu'on rencontre des gens qui sont supposément importantes, ce sont des gens normaux, comme tout le monde, comme les gens qui vont ramasser les vidanges dans la rue, par exemple. We have a lot of people here who have questions for you also, so let's hand it to Virginie with a public
question. Let's start with the first question. Hi, guys. We have a fan here. She would like to ask her first question. Go ahead.
Hi, I'd just like to mention that it was your music that inspired me last year to buy my guitar, and I've been songwriting ever since, so it's really nice to see you, and it'd be great if you could sign it after the show. But my question was, we all go through challenging experiences in life that enable us to grow and learn and eventually reach the goals that we set for ourselves. Now, looking back, what would you say was the challenging experience that has brought you where you are today?
That's a very good question. Will, do you want to?
Not really.
I don't know. We always face challenging things. Everything from making Johnny's hair look good to how we're going to record. We have challenges all the time, I think. Don't we, Will? I mean, everything we've ever done has been a challenge. I don't really know. Will, do you want to please help me?
I think we played a big festival in England called the Glastonbury Festival, and we were asked to headline it, and originally we were going to do it when our album had been out for a couple of weeks, but we had to delay the album release because it wasn't going, we hadn't got it finished basically, and so there was a point where we didn't play that, we weren't going to play the festival, and then the organiser said, well, we really want you to, so it was a case of trying to basically play all our new songs to 80,000 people, and they wouldn't have a clue what any of them sounded like. So it was a bit of a gamble, I think. So that was a big challenge. But I think
ça répond à ta question.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, I finished.
And right at the beginning, when we were just 4 students, not that cool, and it was a challenge to get anybody to listen to us, because we didn't come from a cool part of England or anything, and we were just at college, and when you're in a band and you're at college, in England that's not very cool. So it was a challenge to overcome the prejudice,
Alors, je vais traduire la question, ça répond à ta question.
Thank you very much.
Marvelous question. We really need to think about that a bit longer.
Alors, Valérie elle disait, vous avez plusieurs challenges dans la vie. Est-ce qu'il y en a un en particulier? En fait, est-ce qu'il y a une expérience qui était cruciale, qui a fait que vous êtes rendu là? Et là, Chris disait, il y en a plusieurs, mais je sais pas trop. Montrer que faire que ses cheveux paraissent bien, en fait.
Paraissent bien. Tout est un challenge, finalement, quotidiennement pour le groupe.
Exactement.
Glastonbury, le festival célèbre en Angleterre aussi, avait été un challenge pour le groupe parce que l'album n'était pas
connu du tout, exactement.
We also went out on the street to ask some questions to the fans. So if you want to look up at the monitor, we have what we call a Vox Pop question.
Okay.
Allô, moi je m'appelle Stéphanie, puis j'adore Coldplay, donc je vous adore. J'aimerais ça savoir, honestly, I would like to know what was the first album you ever bought.
Will.
Honestly, the very first album you bought.
I remember driving with my father, me and my brother, mon frère et moi, dans la voiture à l'école to driving to school, and we had the album Bad, Michael Jackson, you know, and we were maybe 11 or 12, and my dad would always get very angry in the song Smooth Criminal, you know, because he goes, Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? And my dad always used to get angry that Michael Jackson never gave the lady time to answer. Yeah? We used to drive and he used to go, well, you know, if you'd just be quiet, she'd tell you if she was okay. You know?
He must be really pissed now because Alien Ant Farm had the cover.
Everyone keeps asking, but poor old Annie. She is okay because she got her dog and she got her new father in the film. Presumably it's the same Annie. I don't know. But Johnny had the coolest records.
Well, no, it was Duran Duran. I think my first one, Seven and the Ragged Tiger. I think that was pretty good.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was a good record too.
Yeah.
Not as good as Rio, but it was still a good record.
I never listened to Rio.
What about you, Will?
It was probably the first record that I bought would have been something like Postman Pat, which was a children's TV theme tune, which you probably didn't, you know, translate. It didn't.
Not that big here.
I don't think it got to Montreal, but the first record that I remember properly listening to was Rattle and Hum by U2.
Yeah. Guy?
I honestly can't remember, to be honest. I think it might have been an Average White Band album, which no one will have heard of anyway, so I'm not sure.
Autre question du public?
Oui, on a une question aussi. C'est quoi ton nom?
Julie,
Vas-y, Julie.
vous parrainez la campagne Make Trade Fair de Oxfam et je me demandais qu'est-ce qui vous avait poussé à faire ça?
Do you want me to translate?
Wait a little bit.
Okay. Coldplay endorsed the Make Trade Fair campaign with Oxfam. Sure. Why do you guys decide to get involved in a cause?
Well, it's a cause that is an incredibly important thing for everyone, and especially we've been, for some bizarre reason, people are going to listen to what we have to say more than others. So we feel it's kind of like a responsibility of ours to make people aware of issues that really are important. And it was Oxfam approached us and asked us if we would help them out. And Chris went to Haiti to visit some farms. And basically, it's a country that's completely squashed by ridiculous trade regulations, and it means that basically the farmers can't sell their grain anywhere else because they get cheap imports, and so it's quite a complicated issue. But it's very simple for us to talk about it in interviews and to make people aware of it, and it doesn't it's very easy for us to do, and it makes a big difference, I think.
We just wear the t-shirts and all this stuff, you know. And because it's such a simple thing, it's not even something that we're trying to force on anybody. It's just that we thought we'd like to talk about something else apart from Coldplay for once, you know. And the issue of trade, you know, you had the World Trade Organization in
Quebec
Canada,
City,
yeah, right. And the reason why people go and protest is because all the trade laws around the world they're terrible, you know. And most people don't know that, and we didn't know that. And that's why we got approached, so that we'd learn that, and then we'd talk about it in interviews and just make people aware of, you know, there's a website called maketradefair.com, you know, that's the place where they really know what they're talking about.
Alors, une des raisons pourquoi Coldplay s'implique dans des causes, c'est parce qu'ils sont connus. C'est plus facile de faire passer le message, en fait. Et on disait que Chris est allé à Haïti pour visiter des fermes, pour voir un peu les conditions des fermiers là-bas. Et c'est facile de porter un T-shirt comme ça, d'en parler quand ils font des événements à la télévision, un peu partout. Le message passe assez facilement.
How about we take a break?
Ben oui.
Take a little breather, have some water, towel off, and come back with more questions.
More questions.
More questions.
Okay.
Still. Coldplay, live à Musique Plus, tout de suite après la pause. L'artiste du mois se poursuit.
L'artiste du mois est une présentation de Pepsi.
De retour à l'artiste du mois Coldplay, live à Musique Plus. Encore une portion interactive cette fois-ci. C'est encore au tour des fans de poser des questions à leur groupe. Virginie?
Tout à fait, j'ai Robert avec moi. Ça va?
Oui, toi?
T'es un grand fan de Coldplay?
Eh oui.
Ben, vas-y, c'est ton moment de poser ta question.
Okay, so I read in The Enemy, I think, Chris, you were telling that the most part of the album was inspired by September 11, if I think so. Or Politics song was inspired by. Okay, so my question... Huh?
Is this question to do with that? Because that isn't true.
Okay.
But ask the question anyway.
Okay.
It has to do with the song, I think.
Exactly. So how did a big treasure like that can inspire you about a song or anything like that?
That's a great question. Okay. That's a great question. That's funny because you're lucky because I was gonna. Because someone did an interview with me on September the 13th, I think, or the 14th, and we'd just written this song, Politic, you know. And so we said, oh yeah, they said, do you think it'll affect your album, you know, September the 11th? And I said, well, of course it affects everybody, you know, everybody in the world. And the only thing that it inspired, I mean, it's very weird to say that something like that inspired you. It didn't inspire us, but just that song came out of the way we were feeling in that week. Like everybody was feeling a bit scared and a bit confused and a bit angry, but, you know, not with the terrorists necessarily, but with the reasons why they were angry, you know, which is all to do with trade and to do with exploitation and all this stuff. And so we were just feeling like everybody else, except that we had a piano, you know. And so it came out. And so that song is really about, well, we played it just now, you know. That song's about just things that we believe in, you know. It's not about Osama bin Laden, but you know what I mean.
Alors, Robert disait qu'il demandait en fait si le nouvel album est inspiré du 11 septembre. Il disait non, c'est pas l'album au complet, c'est une chanson qui s'appelle Politic. Et il disait que oui, parce que, bon, le 13 septembre, il a fait une entrevue avec un journaliste et évidemment, il parlait du mood dans lequel tout le monde était à cette période-là et tout le monde se sentait un peu triste, un peu désemparé. Et eux, ils avaient un piano, donc ils ont composé par la même occasion. Donc, est sortie cette chanson-là dans laquelle il parle de choses dont il croit.
Let's take another question from the street where we went to meet some people. Question Vox Pop encore une fois pour Coldplay.
Salut les gars, moi je m'appelle Sandra. Je voulais juste savoir si vous étiez des éternels romantiques.
Are you endless romantics? Is the question.
What, with each other or how?
That might be misquoted, you know.
I don't care. It's Gay Pride Week here, you know. We're you know, but are we? I don't know, what do you mean endless romantic?
Or hopeless romantics?
Hopeless.
The songs are romantic. I mean,
well, we all like girls, and you know. I mean, yeah, I guess. I suppose. I don't know. I mean,
I don't know whether we're hopeless.
No, yeah, we're successful romantics. No, we're not. I don't know. I mean, I mean, we all like romance.
Romance novels?
I mean, these are difficult questions, man. Will's a great romancer and guy. I mean, you know, I don't really want to get any of us in trouble.
Okay.
But we definitely acknowledge the importance of romance, you know. We don't like. Yeah.
La question était, est-ce que vous êtes romantique? Et je pense que bon, la réponse parle pour elle-même. Oui, mais maladroitement et un peu collectivement, mais pas en même temps et de temps en temps oui et non. Mais oui, ils adhèrent quand même au concept de la romance et tout ce que ça peut impliquer. Right? Wait. Let's go back to Virginie.
Chris, now that you're talking about girls, we have to talk about girls. Now that you're traveling and you're known, is it harder for you to have like a stable relationship?
While being romantic.
Over with the subject.
I'm not going to answer that. Guy will answer that. Well, you see, some of us are in stable relationships and some of us aren't. And I don't know. I don't. Will's very good at it.
It's easy for me, but
Go ahead, Will.
I'm not really the famous one. You know, I sit at the back and hit things, and so no one knows what I look like, which is kind of good. So it's
they do now, man.
They do now, yeah. But I mean, it's pretty straightforward and easy for me.
But still, you're not at home really often.
No, but The times when I'm at home is, it's very special. It's all very it's when we go home, it's a nice chance to, be with our families and be with our friends and stuff. So it's all good.
Alors, je me demandais si, maintenant qu'ils sont connus et tout ça, est-ce que c'est difficile d'avoir une relation plus stable? Il semble que ça a l'air difficile. En tout cas, ça a l'air très difficile. Et ils n'en ont pas pour l'instant. Alors, toi, tu aimerais poser une question? C'est quoi ton nom?
C'est Elias.
Vas-y, Elias, pose ta question.
Okay, this one's going to be easier to answer. What impact did the success of your first album have on recording this one?
That's a great question. I mean, I think for us, partly we got some money from our first record, which made us be able to buy thousands of records. So we had a big musical education all the time we were on tour, and we met lots of new people, and it was like being a sponge, just listening to all this new stuff. And so musically it had a big impact because it gave us a lot more opportunity and a lot more experiences. Also, I think it gave us a lot of freedom, because we felt we could try anything, because we our record company would let us do what we liked, and it gave us freedom, but it also inspired us to want to change a little bit as well, to do something slightly different. So it definitely had an effect, of course.
Alors, Elias demandait si le succès du premier album a eu un impact sur l'enregistrement du second album. Il disait oui, évidemment, parce qu'on a eu des sous, on a pu s'acheter plusieurs, des centaines, des milliers d'albums, écouter de la nouvelle musique et aussi se laisser aller parce qu'on savait qu'il y a une compagnie disque, de toute façon, qui nous enregistrait, qui nous signerait maintenant qu'on a prouvé un peu ce qu'on savait faire. Merci, Elias.
Merci.
Merci.
Let's take another question again from the street. Une autre question au Vox Pop.
Hi guys, just a fan from Montreal. Just wondering what gives you guys a sudden rush of blood to the head?
Quite a few things. But it's that.
Explain the expression, man.
I'll explain the expression. I don't know if it's used in North America or in Canada or wherever. But in England it means, or in Britain it means when you have a rush of adrenaline, or when you have like the real urge to do something spontaneously. So, and that's kind of the way that we feel about the opportunity that we've been given to be in this band and to travel all around the world. And we want to make the most of every opportunity we get. We don't want to, in 20 years' time look back and think, what if we'd have done that, or maybe we should have done that. We don't want to regret anything. So, being in this band gives us that feeling of doing things on impulse and just being, taking every day like it's your last day, and living it as best you can.
Seize the day, basically.
Precisely.
Carpe diem.
Exactly.
Carpe diem.
Our is it Patrick, a guy from our record company? He took it to mean going parachuting. It can be anything. He saw the phrase "a rush of blood to the head," and he went on a parachute jump. It's doing something when you feel that I'll do it now. Like Will says, it's seize the day and don't delay things.
And it comes back to what you were saying earlier about not being afraid, because I believe like when the first record came out, you were a little reluctant and stuff, and then you just decided, you know what, I'm going to face the people and just go with it.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, it's just like it's exactly what Will said. It's every opportunity you have to grab it, and you have to. Don't wait till you're 35 or till you're 50. I mean, that's what my grandfather always told me and told us, you've got to do things right now,
Before it's too late. Yeah.
Before it's too late, yeah.
On parle du titre de l'album A Rush of Blood to the Head, qui veut dire une montée d'adrénaline finalement, ou une montée de sang à la tête. Ça veut dire exactement ça, c'est un rush d'adrénaline et ça vraiment ça englobe l'album et aussi la nouvelle philosophie de la vie, de ne pas niaiser, de ne pas attendre pour faire de quoi, de profiter de chaque moment, de saisir le jour, la fameuse phrase Carpe Diem. Donc A Rush of Blood to the Head réfère justement à cette énergie, si on veut, soudaine qu'on peut retrouver dans certains moments. Allons encore voir Virginie avec une question du public.
On a Caroline avec nous. Allô?
Allô.
Vas-y, pose ta question.
A number of your songs have religious undertones, from Everything's Not Lost, We Never Change, God Put a Smile Upon Your Face. I wondered how much your faith or your spirituality plays a part in your songwriting.
Well, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for all of us, about what we all think about God or everything. I mean, I definitely believe in something, you know, and yeah, but I'm not quite sure what. I mean, it's a very deep question now. How much does it play a part? I don't know. Well, I definitely think our songs, our good songs anyway, they don't really come from us. They come from somewhere else, you know. Well, I'm not sure it's divine inspiration. They're not that good, but you know what I mean. I mean, I definitely think there's something else going on, you know.
Alors, Caroline demandait une question en fait sur la religion parce qu'il y a plusieurs chansons sur l'album qui sont à portée religieuse comme We Never Change, Ghost, God Put a Smile on My Face. Et elle disait en fait, est-ce que ça vous inspire, comment ça vous inspire dans l'écriture des chansons? Et Chris il disait, je peux pas parler pour les autres, mais je peux parler pour moi. Oui, je crois en quelque chose, je sais pas exactement quoi, mais définitivement, je crois en quelque chose. Et nos chansons viennent, oui, de nous, mais d'ailleurs également.
You look at the life we have and you have to think someone's being nice to us, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. Alors Chris disait que si on regarde la vie qu'ils ont, définitivement, il y a un Dieu, il y a quelque chose qui vient d'en haut. Alors, tantôt, on va écouter des chansons. On va les entendre.
Au retour de la pause, encore une fois, Coldplay va jouer pour nous des nouvelles chansons du nouvel album et aussi quelques souvenirs du disque Parachutes. Restez là après la pause. Coldplay se poursuit live à Musique Plus.